The first two episodes of Velma aren't that good, which is sad because the idea of an adult-themed Scooby Doo related series is brilliant, and it's the type of refresh the Scooby Doo series needed after years of catering to children. But the writing, the character development so far, and the direction in Velma is predictable, unfunny, and overall not entertaining to watch. I had this to say about it over on Twitter, which, by the way, if you're watching this video, you should go over there and follow me. There's really no reason for this particular tweet to only have 2 likes when the majority of the internet seems to dislike the Velma series. Y'all sleeping on your boy on Twitter, cut it out. Anyway, where did the Velma series go wrong? Well, for starters, it seems as though the writers don't understand the main Scooby-Doo cast of characters and what made each of them so likable and endearing to the viewing audience. Now let's start with the character they did the dirtiest on the show, Fred. Now, in this series, Fred is an underdeveloped teenager who's portrayed as a whiny rich boy who needs to be pampered by his parents. Now, Fred's never been the rich one in the bunch. He's just a jock with an ascot and a van. The writers have gone out of their way to really paint Fred as the big bad white devil, even going as far as to make him look like Hitler in one scene. The disrespect on decades-long franchises such as this need to be stopped. Shaggy's here as well, pining for Velma, using zero Riz to scoop her up. His Riz is at an all-time low, with him going to great lengths to try and win the affection of Velma, even selling one of his damn kidneys to give her some money. $500 for a kidney, man. That's insane. Now, Shaggy may not have been known for his bravery, but he's never been a beta cuck that's watched his girl make out with other girls and he's just sitting there in the corner like he's Drake crying. What the hell did they do to my boy Shaggy, man? It's not right. Now, the race swapping isn't a problem in this particular series, with Shaggy being black, Velma being Indian, and Daphne being Asian. What seems to be the problem is the lack of understanding of the fundamentals of the gang's friendship dynamic. In the show, we see Daphne and Velma's friendship strained, with Daphne being the stereotypical popular girl in high school. That's totally cool. And Velma is the unpopular, forgettable nerd, which is also cool. But where the show takes a sharp turn for the worse is the seeds they're planting of a romantic relationship between Velma and Daphne. Yeah. Now, there's obviously nothing wrong with girl-on-girl action. In fact, Velma's done it in the past, as we've seen in Trick or Treat Scooby Doo. Now, in this series, it seems like the writers are forcing a romantic relationship between the two characters. It's only in the second episode we begin to see something romantic happening between Velma and Daphne, which, in my opinion, is far too soon when the two were just fighting minutes earlier and in a whole ass other episode prior. Now, it's like this show is trying way too hard to be like another HBO Max adult animated show, Harley Quinn. The difference between Harley Quinn and Velma is that that particular show took its time to establish the main players of the series and slowly built up the romantic relationship between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy in episodes and seasons. And if they had hit the audience with it a little bit too soon, it wouldn't have had the same impact. Now, the romantic relationship between Velma and Daphne just, honestly, it feels rushed, almost as if the writers are going into the Velma series thinking they'll only get one season of this show, so they're squeezing in and front-loading it with as much crap to piss off long-time Scooby-Doo fans as possible. If this show does go past a season 1, I'd be surprised. I really wanted to like this show. I really did, but the predictable nature of it all just really rubbed me the wrong way, and I couldn't help but watch the show with disgust in my eyes. Disgust for what they did to these once lovable characters. It seems as though the show is more or less concerned with, making fun of liberal identity politics, indicative by the numerous jokes Velma makes about white people throughout the show. And nary a laugh is to be had. It ain't funny. Now, I just really hate it when, a show tries too hard to be woke for the sake of being woke, as opposed to just making a fun and entertaining adult-themed animated series based on a popular franchise. Even though I feel this way about Velma, I'll be honest with you, I'm hoping maybe it's just the first few episodes that aren't good. That's possible. It'll improve as the season continues. But as of right now, those reviews aren't looking so hot for Velma. Like, the highlighted Rotten Tomatoes critics consensus puts it best. Like Jinkies, the radical reworking of the beloved mystery team has plenty of attitude and style, but it doesn't have the first clue for how to turn its clever subversion into engaging fun. Damn, that is so true. But again, I'll see how things kind of progress. Like, I think what the creators failed to realize is that the core foundation of Scooby Doo, the Scooby Doo gang's relationships, are linked to their personalities. Like, Fred isn't a whiny rich boy, Shaggy isn't beta, Daphne isn't a mean girl, and Scooby exists. He does. The only character that has some semblance of their original character is Velma, as she's portrayed as a mystery-solving, obsessed outcast. Like, I get that, this is, a reimagining of the characters, but when you remove core elements of the characters, it comes off as just tone deaf. Like, I'll be keeping an eye on this series and maybe give it another review if it improves. Like, I really want to like it because, it's in the Scooby Doo verse. It's in the Scooby-verse, but so far, I'm not digging it. Comment your thoughts down below, gang. Let's discuss.